Alright, I'm making this little video for you so you can see our farm that you've been asking about. Okay, so this is inside our base. About, it's a 5 by 6 chunk base, but the inside is about 3 by 3 roughly. Um, as you can see, this is the not the very bottom, this is part of the bottom. It fills up this, I'm doing, there's two different sections, and I'll get into the reasoning behind that in a second. But basically, how it's built is you put a slab with the sand with the cactus, and that's how one row is. And each one is one cube by one by one, like separated, as you can tell. So it starts in the corner here. There's one all the way around the outside of it. And then you just make rows that go all the way down one space apart till you get to the other end and leave one extra space on the side there. Then you do that all the way across the room, filling up the whole room, as you can tell. Now, the difference is when you get to the since you need the square above it to break it, as you know, you make the next row offset one just to the side. So yes, there's two spaces on here. Don't put the one against the wall because the one against the wall will never. I'm pretty sure it won't work. Even then, it doesn't help out anyways, because the one against the wall would mean that if it breaks on the side here, even at all the way up at the top or any of these going up, it can't fall down. Now, like I said, even if you had just one of these, it kills on itself about half to probably like 1/3 of the time it kills itself, and then the other times it falls to the side. With this, they usually fall either in the middle in the side cracks, or they can fall to the sides either. So it can fall anywhere around the outside. The worst is it pops up on top of itself and it hits the slab. And the reason I use slabs over using cobblestone or anything else is because slabs have a gap. The reason for the gap is if it goes and it lands inside that gap, yes, it didn't fall to the bottom, but the thing is if it falls inside that slab there in that little gap, it'll stay there. Now the advantage to that is if a piece is falling down and it flies past it, it will pick it up and carry it to the bottom. So the slabs help make sure it carries itself all the way down to the bottom, even if it gets caught. The other thing about the slabs is they just. And I think that was the biggest point of it, but they look nice. And anyways, most people build these like 3 rows straight up, like on top of each other, and that's not very effective. I mean, it works, but I don't think it's very effective. Like with this, I built it all the way up, and it's like 36 stories high. The advantage to that is I can put it in this 3 by 3 chunk space inside of a base covered with walls and whatever else I want to defend it with. It's a lot easier to defend for a small faction. You don't have to have a 20-man faction to have a huge wide one. You could have a like 1 chunk wide base. At least that's 3 by 3 for extra protection and whatnot. And you can defend it off pretty easily inside of the base and still make a big cactus farm. Now, like I said, they offset, and then when you make the 3rd row, you offset back. So each row offsets, zigzagging back and forth, and it just goes all the way to the side. Then that goes all the way up, and I have a roof on top and everything. Now, when you get to the bottom here, there's a couple ways you could do this. The expensive route that I'm working on, that I think is the most efficient, is to put hoppers all the way down the sides of the road. It's super expensive because every hopper is 10K. So, like, right here, in just this first edition that I tried doing, I've got like 150 hoppers, 160 hoppers here. That's like 1.5 million. But once you have a farm this big, it pays for itself pretty fast. Like I made that within a couple days. I make like if I sat and played all week, like weekend, inside my base, just building my base bigger, defending it, just kind of hanging out around here. Like I made about 500K in a day of playing like 6 to 8 hours. And like to get the chests side by side, you use trap chests and regular chests. That's probably a lot of people see this and be like, how do you put chests next to each other? Well, trap chests and regular chests are different from each other, and they even showed them in the preview that you can put them next to each other. So that allows you to fill up the entire rows across. The only thing is the regular chest, the hoppers keep flowing into them when you're looking inside of them. If you're looking inside of a trap chest, like that one's a little bit redder, so yeah, this would be a trap chest. When you're looking inside of it like this, the hoppers will stop. But you're not going to stand here looking inside of it the whole time, just like, oh my gosh, the cactus fell in it. So it works out just fine. That's the expensive route, but it's the most effective because it will fall and fall straight into it. So there's no time for the cleanup to get. There's almost little time for the cleanup to delete them, and you can put a lot more chests. So it take like these that have like a couple cactus in them. Like these are like the chest is like a third of the way full. That's like that takes about like a couple hours, not like 10 hours, 12 hours to do that, if not longer, for all to do that to all these chests. So I mean, you could have them filling up for like 3 days and wouldn't have to check them that often. Now the rest of it, we have this simple just water. We put water in these two ways, and it funnels it down into these ravines, which then funnel it. So it's simple water funneling thing. There's more hoppers right there, and if on the outsides they funnel them to the center where there's more hoppers. I'm gonna go down there right now once I get back. But yeah, so it kind of just funnels down. It's got its inefficiency because if it lands right here in these little strips, they get stuck and they just float there. But there's not. I mean, another way I know there's the bowl method. If you look that up, where I've heard it called where it just runs down and then you have it run down one step and you get it all the way to center, and that works too. I mean, if you could set that up, that would also be effective. Now, going into the crap. I hate doors. Going into see if you look, this is kind of where we built it, but it funnels down into this little center room, which I'm going down to. Here, which I keep walled off. But yeah, it funnels down into this room. This is where the top hoppers for the center is, and the bottom sides funnel down into these hoppers, and these are all hooked like 2 hoppers per chest, but funnels into these chests. And when these hoppers are actually working, which with 1.6 they've gotten screwed up, so they're not working very well, they fill up these chests. Like all these chests will be filled up within, say, 2 hours, 2-3 hours. So crap, I'm dying of food. So yeah, these fill up, all of them, in like 2 to 3 hours. You just pick them all up and sell it. And that's like 2 or 3 hours if you have someone sitting in the base to keep this chunk loaded. And then we have like whatever else over here just to work with and everything. But yeah, this is kind of like hokey, but it works. My friend made it. I can't remember if there's anything else I was going to show you, but yeah, this is how to do it. Thanks.